This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body.
మట్టిని కాపాడుకుందాం ఇప్పుడు ఎక్కువగా వినిపిస్తున్నమాట. మరి మట్టిని కాపాడుకోకపోతే ఏమవుతుంది? ఈ ప్రశ్న కూడా వినిపిస్తుంది. నిజంగా మట్టిని కాపాడుకోకపోతే ఏమవుతుందో సద్గురు మాటలోనే విందాం. నమస్కారం సద్గురు.
నమస్కారం.
సో చాలా మంది మట్టిని కాపాడుకుందామని మీరు చాలా ఏళ్ళుగా మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. ఇప్పుడైతే చాలా పెద్ద క్యాంపెయిన్ చేపట్టారు. కొందరు అడిగే ప్రశ్న ఏముంది, డిజర్టిఫికేషన్ ఇవాళకి వాళ్ళు అయిపోతుందా, చాలా టైం పడుతుంది అనేది. ఇలాంటి మాటలకు అసలు మీరేం చెప్తారు?
అలాంటి వాళ్ళంతా ఏం చేయాలంటే గూగుల్ మ్యాప్స్ చూడాలమ్మా. 2006 నుంచి ఇప్పుడు వరకు చూడండి, లేదా 2003 నుంచి ఉందని నేను తెలుసుకుంటాను. లేకపోతే ఫోటోగ్రాఫ్స్ ఉంది. ఇన్ ద లాస్ట్ 25 years we have lost 10% of the earth's land to desertification. 10% in 25 years. Right now, not a single nation has the minimum organic content average, not even a single nation. In continents like Africa, the average organic content is 0.3%. In a subcontinent like India, our average organic content is 0.68%. Below 1% is considered desertification. Two nations are right now in famine conditions. Another 6 are supposed to go into it by the end of this year. People who do not know the pain of what is famine can say irresponsible things. Famine means you don't die in one day. It will take 3 to 4 months for you to slowly die in the most painful way possible. And this is not new, this is not a prediction. This is something that was happening in the world all the time. The last 300 years, how many famines have happened in India? In 1942, 3.2 million people died in this country. The problem is our history is not written properly, the pain of the people is not recorded, and people have not bothered to read about it, know about it. They are happy playing video games. They don't know anything about it. They think if they order on the Swiggy, food will come home.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm glad they're living without concern, that's how life should be. But there are concerns that if you don't attend, it will become everybody's concerns. So now we are at this inflection point. If we do not act now, in another 25 to 40 years, we are once again driving towards a global famine situation. So, for the first time, the scientists, top scientists in the world are using the term soil extinction. I hope they understand what is extinction. That means it won't be there after some time. When we say extinction, we normally talk about dinosaurs and dodos. Now we are talking about soil extinction.
సద్గురు, అయితే ఒక 25 ఏళ్ల క్రితం అంటే 25 years బ్యాక్తో కంపేర్ చేస్తే ఇప్పుడు మనం అందరం అనుకుంటున్నాం చాలా హెల్దీ ఫుడ్ తీసుకుంటున్నామని, న్యూట్రిష్ ఫుడ్ తీసుకుంటున్నామని, నట్స్ తీసుకుంటున్నాం, ఫ్రూట్స్ తీసుకున్నాం. స్టిల్ మన ఏన్షియంట్ పీపుల్తో కంపేర్ చేస్తే మనం చాలా వీక్గా ఉంటున్నాం ఇప్పుడు జనరేషన్లో. దీనికి కారణం ఏంటి?
Your body is just a transformed version of the soil. Will we understand this now or will we understand when we are buried is the only question. If you and me are buried, we become part of the soil, isn't it?
Yes.
So it is anyway soil right now. If the soil is not rich, there is no way your life will be strong. You can have puffed up muscles by going to the gym, but there is no life strength in it. If life has to be strong, the soil has to be strong because that is the basic material with which we are building the body. Those organisms which are there in trillions or in zillions in the soil are just micro-human beings. If you allow them to grow, they evolve and become like this. That's what it is, life, that's how it's happened. So, if you think, no soil, no problem, I will get my food from Swiggy or Uber Eats or something, that's not how life works.
అంటే భూమిలో సారం తగ్గడం వల్లే మనం తీసుకునే ఆహారం మనకు సరైన పోషకాలు ఇవ్వడం లేదంటారా?
Definitely, it is not. See, the problem is in most nations it's not been measured. In United States, there is some kind of a measure What every scientist is saying is, the micronutrients in vegetables and fruits in United States from early 20th century to now has dropped by 90%, 90, yes, the number is correct, not 19, 90% has dropped. If you ate one orange in 1920, in 2020, you will have to eat 8 oranges to get the same nutrition. Is it even a practical thing to eat 8 oranges per day?
No.
So this is the same thing. If you enhance the organic content in the soil, the microbial activity will get busy and give the necessary nutrition to the soil, to the plants, and plants will in turn purify the air, water, everything. See, these are not… it's a very keyhole approach which has caused a lot of damage. Somebody is only thinking soil, somebody is only thinking water, somebody thinks only air, somebody thinks only carbon dioxide molecules. Life does not work like that. All of it together is happening as one great phenomena. And in this, what we call as a carbon chain, which is our life,
Yes.
we are part of the carbon chain. In this, the biggest and the most significant link is soil. And that link has worn thin, has become so weak that if it goes further, it can make life collapse like that. Some of the scientists, this is not a thing to talk about, this is not my way of looking at life, they're estimating by 2060, about 40% of the population could die of starvation. Some others who think little more ahead of that, they are saying by 2060, 65, 60% of the population could die, human population. Because there is no way you can sustain life on this planet by reducing the bioactivity in the soil, it's simply not possible. Right now it is on a slide, average of 27,000 species are dying per year, going extinct per year. But this slide at some point will become a tumble. That point could be somewhere between 25 to 40 years. When it starts tumbling down, there is nothing to do.
సద్గురు, ఇంత పెద్ద సమస్య, మీరు ఎన్నో సంవత్సరాల నుంచి దీని గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నారు, కానీ ఇప్పటికీ కూడా ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా దీనికి సంబంధించి సరైన పాలసీలు రాకపోవడానికి కారణం ఏమైంది అంటున్నారు?
There are many reasons. One reason is democracy. I am not against democracy, I am 100% for democracy. But I am saying, in most nations, the democratic leadership is there only for 4 years. In our nation, it's 5 years. You elect somebody for 5 years. Suppose you were elected to be the chief minister or prime minister of this country, would you naturally work to produce results in those 5 years? Or would you work to produce results in 15 to 20 years? What would be your inclination? Because if you don't produce any results in 5 years, you will be gone anyway.
Yeah.
Okay? So everybody works within those terms. Nobody wants to take up issues which will take 15, 20 years to bear results, because there is no people's mandate. People have not expressed that we are concerned about the long-term well-being of this nation. We are concerned about our children's future. Even this they've not expressed. They're only talking, they want 2 rupees discount in petrol price, they want 1% less income tax, something like this. I'm not saying those are not important, maybe they're important on a day-to-day basis, but we are forgetting the larger issues which threaten our life. Existential questions are coming. When we talk about soil extinction, we are talking about something of existential significance.
సో సద్గురు, ఇక్కడ మీరు ఏదైతే 3 నుంచి 6% సారవంతమైన పదార్థం భూమిలో ఉండాలి అంటున్నారు, కానీ ఈ యొక్క మాటని మిస్అండర్స్టాండింగ్ చేసుకుంటున్నారా? అంటే పూర్తిగా ఆర్గానిక్ వైపు వెళ్తున్నారేమో అన్న అభిప్రాయం వస్తుంది. ఏవైతే దేశాలు పూర్తిగా ఆర్గానిక్ కల్టివేషన్ వైపు వెళ్ళాయి ఇబ్బందులు పడుతున్నారు, దీన్ని ఎలా అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి?
See, these words are being thrown around by urban populations in an irresponsible way, without knowing what is farming. They have not farmed, they don't know what it is. If you take away all fertilizer and pesticide from the market today, the world's food production will come down to 25%. This is death. So let's not talk such irresponsible things. This is all urban population because they read something on the WhatsApp and they are experts in this. The farmer is not throwing fertilizer because he likes it. He knows if he doesn't put this fertilizer, nothing will come out of it. He knows that. The people who live in cities, they don't know that. They think farmer likes to simply throw fertilizer. Why would he like to throw it? It costs money. Fertilizer is money. What is throwing it away? You think he likes to do it? He doesn't want to do it. So we need to understand this, that right now if you raise the organic content, the issue of soil or save soil movement is just this, raising the organic content of the soil. What kind of farming must be done? Let the farmer decide. Let him do it whichever way he wants. Don't try to tell him how to do farming because you don't know anything about farming. Raise the organic content. If the soil becomes rich, will naturally usage of fertilizers start sliding down. That's how it should happen. When the soil is rich, when there's strength in the soil, the need for inputs will come down. As it comes down, we will see how long it'll take. In the meantime, already fertilizer companies are trying to transform themselves by producing biofertilizers. I was meeting with one of the top fertilizer companies in the world and they say, we have so much biofertilizer, last 2 years, nobody's lifting it, stock is not going, what are we supposed to do? I said, see, if there's no incentive, nobody's going to lift it. Incentive is needed. Right now there is subsidy for regular fertilizer. Large subsidies must come for biofertilizers, then everybody will lift the biofertilizer, isn't it?
Yes.
So, without incentive, you can't move the farmer because farm economy is so fragile. If you touch it, it'll collapse. Don't you understand this, that in the last 20-25 years, over 300,000 farmers have committed suicide, nearly 500,000 farmers in the world have committed suicide, highest suicide rate among all professions in United States, Europe, everywhere else is among the farmers. Is it not enough message for us to understand the soil is weak and farming is not only backbreaking, unfortunately it's becoming heartbreaking.
సద్గురు, మనం సాయిల్ని అంటే రైతులే కావచ్చు, ప్రభుత్వాలే కావచ్చు, వీరితో పాటు ప్రతి ఒక్క మనిషి కూడా భూమిని కాపాడుకునేందుకు తన వంతు ఏదో ఒకటి కృషి చేయాలి. సాధారణ ప్రజలు ఏం చేయాలంటారు?
సాధారణ ప్రజలు రైతులు కాదు కదా, వాళ్ళు ఏం చేయాలంటే they must raise their voice, because in a democracy this is what is important, that people should raise their voice and express their concern, because governments are essentially not elected to do fantastic things. They are elected to fulfill people's mandate. Where is the mandate? So the urban people who have no land, who are not going to do farming in their life, they must raise their voice for the soil. The rural people, don't talk to them now. You give them the incentive and then we will talk to them how to do it. Once the incentive is there, they want to do it. If they need technical and other kinds of assistance, there are enough agencies to do that work.
సో సద్గురు, సాధారణంగా ప్లాస్టిక్ యూసేజ్, ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ మెటీరియల్స్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా సాయిల్ని ఎంతో కొంత పాడు చేస్తున్నాయి అనేది ఎప్పటి నుంచో వినిపిస్తున్న వాదన.
It is true, ma, all these things are happening. But I'm saying, separate the soil issue. Soil organic content issue must be separated from all the other environmental issues, because if you link it with that, we will be still talking after 20 years.
సో సద్గురు, మీరు అటు ప్రభుత్వాలకు కూడా కొన్ని సూచనలు చేశారు భూమిని కాపాడుకోవడానికి ఏమేం చేయాలి అనేది. అండ్ ఈ యొక్క 100 రోజుల పర్యటనలో భాగంగా అనేక దేశాల్లో పర్యటించారు. ప్రపంచంలో ఏ దేశంలో కూడా సాయిల్ కంటెంట్ కావాల్సినంత లేదు అంటున్నారు. అట్లీస్ట్ ఏదైనా ఒక్క కంట్రీ అయినా దాన్ని కాపాడుకునేందుకు ప్రయత్నిస్తోందా?
నేను అప్పుడే చెప్పినాను కదా, ఇప్పుడు 74 nations have already declared. See, right now, we have created this soil policy handbook. This is a technical handbook. This is over 500 pages, this is for India. Like this, for every nation, 193 nations we prepared unique 193 documents like this, taking into consideration the latitudinal position, the soil type, the economic conditions of that nation and the agricultural traditions. Why agricultural traditions is, even if you have all the science on your side, you still cannot change agricultural traditions overnight. You have to work with it. Taking these 4 aspects into consideration, we made 193. It has reached all the nations. They are all debating and discussing about it. 74 nations have said they will go for it. Others are debating and discussing about it. Large nations have their own ways of doing things. We are more interested in the smaller countries where they need help. So we will set up certain scientific groups which will support them. At least 130 countries will fall under this category of being smaller nations who don't have their own means to do it. We are also seeing if we can set up private funds to support this. That's still a long way off, but let us see. Some people have come together. We don't have the financial strength to do such things, but there are people who have the capacity, large companies. We are beginning to talk to them. Hopefully it moves somewhere. But even if that financial help does not come, hand-holding nations technically and taking them ahead will happen. To tell you how quickly they are moving, I thought when I reach yoga center on 21st, at least a couple of days I don't have to do anything, but already teams, ambassadors from CARICOM nations are coming, G20 teams are coming, and they want to take this ahead right now. They're in such a hurry. The moment I reach the ashram, they are there 21st, 22nd. So that's how fast they are also moving, because they also understand that it has been neglected for too long and this campaign has brought it up in your face to see that it is there. It is not a problem that you can ignore anymore. This is something everybody understands. 2.8 billion people is not a small number, but that was 4 days ago. In the next 2-3 weeks' time, probably we will touch that point of 3.6 billion people which we wanted to touch. With all of you supporting media,
Sure.
definitely it should happen, because everybody should understand, Save Soil movement is not my movement. This is not…
Everybody's.
This is not my planet, this is our planet. As a generation of people we must act. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil, let's make it happen.
ధన్యవాదాలు.
Thank you.
ఇది మట్టిని కాపాడుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం, మట్టిని కాపాడుకుందాం అంటూ సద్గురు చేపట్టిన ఉద్యమం గురించి సద్గురు చెప్పినటువంటి విశేషాలు. నమస్తే.